Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Mega Construx Masters of the Universe Panthor at Point Dread. Thank you for watching this video, or any of my other videos that you may have run across, which I hope is all of them. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, and support the channel further. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future, you will be notified as my new content becomes available. And who doesn't love new content? I know I do. And with all that said, let's get into it. And first of all, as we always do here on Digital Caveman Presents, let's take a look at the packaging. And on the front here, we have nice artwork of the featured items. Battle Armor Skeletor on Panthor, non-flocked. The Sorceress, all in white. There's a special name for her, but I forget what it is. The Talon Fighter itself, with Zodak as the pilot, and Point Dread. The place where the Talon Fighter resides. 8 and Up Pro Builder, 557 individual pieces. Panthor at Point Dread. On the top, Masters of the Universe Mega Construx. Actual size, I'm assuming. Because it is not in das Inglés. Master of the Universe Mega Construx. Panthor Point Dread. On the other side, Battle Armor Skeletor artwork with the Masters of the Universe explosion. Mega Construx Masters of the Universe. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print. And other stuff I cannot read. On the back of the box, artwork rather than actual product shots. But it works for me. Open here, the Talon Fighter perched on Point Dread, the Sorceress, Zoar, Zodak, Battle Armor Skeletor, Panthor, and a rack of weapons. And that, my friends, completes a look at the packaging. And now let's take a look at the contents of the box. And here we have the instructions with the same artwork, just kind of condensed down. And this is what they look like on the inside. Which are okay. I've done some Mega Construx builds before. And while they are getting better, they're not quite up to Lego instruction standards. And this is book 1. And then we have book 2. And then lots of baggies. They are now coming numbered like Lego bags, so you know what bag has which part you're looking for. At least with this set. Past sets were not numbered in such a manner. So, quite a few bags there. And in case you're wondering, no, I'm not going to do the build on camera. I'm not even going to do it and fast forward it. So there will be no actual showing of the building process here. Well, that does it for the contents of the box. Next up will be the completed model. And now let's take a look at the completed models. And let's start off with the simplest things first, I suppose. Here we have Zoar, the falcon, on a perch. And it's just one, well, the bird itself is one piece, and then the feet are another piece, and it just clips on to the stand. And it does have some nice molded detail to it. One piece of paint app. A little bit for the eye. Wouldn't have hurt, but at this size, what do you really expect? And since we took a look at Zoar, here's a look at this solid white clothed version of the sorceress. And then there's her accessory. It kind of looks like the Staff of Ra from Indiana Jones, but I think Lego still may have the rights for Indiana Jones stuff. And of course, she has 360 degrees rotation at her wrists. And because of this cape piece, it goes up under the head. She really doesn't get a whole lot of, it won't get the whole range of movement, but the arm will go 360 degrees without the cape. The elbows, they go forward and back. And then again, the wrists rotate. There's 360 degrees of rotation at the waist where she's not wearing this, and it clipped in right there. The head, the articulation for it isn't a whole lot, but there's a good bit of paint apps on there, and they're nice and crispy. And then of course the figures all have these little rocky stand. I guess it's supposed to be rocks, but anyway, she can kick up that high with her cloak. She can kick back that far, and about a 90-degree bend at the knee. Well, not quite 90 degrees. Nothing at the ankles, but for a figure this size, a whole lot of articulation, in my opinion. And just like Lego figures, their feet just clip on the studs. Now bump the camera, sorry about that, guys. Hope you took your Dramamine. Here's Zodak. Again, nice paint apps. You can definitely tell who these figures are. He comes with a little laser pistol that is very reminiscent of his original release. Now the armor doesn't go all the way around because you can pop the head off and then pop the armor off. But again, nice paint apps. Articulation, you can do the full Exorcist. Arms will rotate 360 degrees. Go up that high. There is rotation, 360 degrees of it at the elbow. And a little better than a 90-degree bend at the elbow. And it's hard to get these guys to turn their wrists without something in their hand, but it does have a nice 360 degrees of rotation. And I'm not going to play him off his stand. He can kick up that high. Kick back that far. Of course, they do have 300 and, well, I said I wasn't going to take him off the stand. He doesn't want to turn around, but he does have rotation at the waist, and it will go 360 degrees. And as far as his knee, a little less than 90 degrees. And pop him right back on his stand. And Skeletor's articulation is the same, so I'm not going to go over Skeletor's articulation. But let's take a look at him. You can definitely tell that is Skeletor's face. He does have nice paint apps where they are. This might actually not be a paint app. This might be a tampo. But the head is definitely has some paint. The axe is molded in color. I think most of the battle armor is molded in color, except for, you know, it does have some splotches of paint down here. And of course the figure's torso is painted. And then it has matching colors on the back of the armor. And again, just to show, they do rotate at the waist 360 degrees. So there's Skeletor. He actually had a piece too, but I don't know where. Yeah, here it is. He had a stand piece also. And now here's Panthor, and he has his stand piece much larger, since he's a much larger figure. Nice details, nicely colored. This is molded all in one color. This is molded all in one color. And there's a little bit of paint apps here for the head, the eyes, the teeth, and the nose. And let's take a look at his articulation real quick. This piece does I say it does. There. This piece comes off. It has two pegs. Right here you can see, and they go in these peg holes right here. As far as his articulation goes, you know, the tail moves all around and it will come off on you. So, but it does, you know, so you can do a little bit with that. The legs, you know, you got some in and out, and you got some all the way around on the back legs. Front legs also all the way around, and it has a little bit of that in and out hinge there. On the front, the paws do have some, anyway, it's got some ankle articulation on the front, but not on the back, which that's a little disappointing. The paws will rotate a full 360 degrees, and they have some up and down there. Then you get here to the chest and neck, and you've got some articulation there, and then here at the neck it's on a dumbbell. So you got all kinds of movement going on that you can do with the head. And like I said, you just have to line those pegs and the holes up. I'm sorry, I bumped the camera again. And then only the back paws have holes to go on the stand. But once you get him on the stand, you know, he can, and he pretty much holds himself. Now, will he do that with Skeletor? I don't know. I hadn't tried it. In fact, that's the first time I've tried that, just to see if it would work. So, that's pretty neat. Now let's take a look at this weapons rack. It looks like something you would find in Castle Grayskull. In fact, all these weapons look like they're based off the weapons that came with the original Castle Grayskull. So a little bit of detail here on those pieces. And then, you know, pretty much it's a weapons rack. Stores weapons. However, it does not have, it will not fit in Point Dread. But we'll look at that in a minute. And then here we have the Talon Fighter. I always thought this was a cool vehicle. The wings will stay on this, and the original one from 82, 83, the wings, they popped in and then slid back, and that was supposed to hold them, but they never really stayed. And so he's got lasers here and lasers here, and the radar dish up here, and there's some articulation on that. Nothing really, I mean, the toes won't grab, they will spread out a little bit if you work at it. I'm not going to do it. The cockpit does open up, and it is a two-seater just like the original, and there's a little bit of parts with detail on them, so that's pretty cool. And then you have two sets of controls sticks that the figures will hold. And then, like I said, it is a two-seater. The legs will slide up under there, just like in the original. So, that's pretty cool. And then, here we have Point Dread. And it looks like it's built out of rocks, Lego style, or block style, whatever you want to call it. Now, one big difference between the original and this one is this, the perch is stationary. It does not twist like the original did. There's a nice window in there. And there is some space back here. You can't tell it a whole lot from the other side, but there is. The staircases leading up to the top to the Talon Fighter. And then here on the back, you know, you can see there is some inside back in there. And this control console, which spins around. And I guess here you got some storage for weapons or maybe extra missiles. And speaking of missiles, the Talon Fighter does have missiles, and I will show that off in just a second. But, you know, a nice space screen there, and some controls and a button and a hole. And this is kind of cool. This is a separate piece. And some of you fellows who are, you know, around the same age as me and had the original Point Dread and Talon Fighter will remember, maybe, that the original toy came with a record and book, a read-along book and record, to which, you know, you younger folks might not know this, but we used to have read-along books, and you would play the record and read along in the book. So I think that was a pretty cool throwback to the original toy there. And also this console, if I remember correctly, there was a cardboard console that fit in the bottom half of Point Dread, because you could pull it apart and the top part would fit onto Castle Grayskull. And which this does have a feature. I won't show it off because I don't have the Castle Grayskull, but it does have that feature also. And real quickly here, I will shoot the missiles. They're right here, and the lever is right here, and I'll just shoot it back here at the green screen. Well, maybe I will. It doesn't want to shoot. There it went. I hope you could see that on screen. There went the other one. And that whole panel fell off, so I won't be doing that a whole lot. And there went another piece. Awesome! So I'll be putting that back together off screen. That does it for a look at the completed models. And now, my friends, it's time for some comparisons. And there I am already bumping the camera again. And first of all, let's take Panthor. And we'll take He-Man off of that battle cat. And just take a look at these two cats. So as you can see, they are the same exact body. The only difference is the paint and the helmet, which this one, this set also comes with a helmet for Panthor in the same color as his saddle. And then we have the flocked Panthor, which the only difference is he's flocked, and as you can see, he came with a helmet too, and I put it on him. Also, this Panthor didn't come with the second spike for the saddle on the back. So, but other than the flocking, these guys are exactly the same. The Sorceress, I really didn't have a figure to compare her with. I don't have another Sorceress, so we'll just say there she is with Battle Armor He-Man, regular He-Man, and Skeletor. And this is either the single release Skeletor or the Skeletor from the 5-pack. I am not sure. They're pretty much, in fact, here's the Skeletor from the other Skeletor. They are pretty much exactly the same dude. And then here is Skeletor that came with the Wind Raider. And you can see where they're different. So, and that's the Sorceress. Zoar, I really don't have anything to compare with, so I won't. Zodak. Again, here he is with He-Man. And with Skeletor. And we'll throw Fisto in there too. And then we'll just bring Battle Armor Skeletor up here. And as you can see, Battle Armor Skeletor doesn't have the armor piece below the waist like the regular Skeletor. And then just for kicks, here's the Wind Raider Skeletor. Put Skeletor back up there. Oh, let's put Zodak back up there too. Alright, nothing to really compare the weapons rack with. So let's move it out of the way. We'll move these figures out of the way. And we'll bring up the Talon Fighter, and we'll bring up Point Dread. Try to put the comparison stuff in the middle. I mentioned the Wind Raider earlier here. It is compared to the Wind Raider. And sorry. Here it is with Roton. And here it is with the Battle Ram. And just for kicks, here it is with the Skeletor head Fisto Cliff Climber set. So I did have something to compare the racks to, but
As you can see, there's not much comparison going on between those two. This one is really simple. This one is a little more complex. But they both do the same thing. Alright, my friends, that does it for comparisons with me reaching in front of the camera. For final thoughts on the Mega Construx Masters of the Universe Panthor at Point Dread set, I enjoyed putting this set together. The organization of it isn't quite to Lego's standard. Even though the bags were numbered, you do have to go, you can't just throw the bags away. You have to keep going back to number 1 or some of the unnumbered bags. But you know, overall, I would say the experience of putting this together was fun. It wasn't too frustrating. Sometimes I do get frustrated putting these things together. I like the molds. I think the paint on them are pretty good. As far as the figures go, the models themselves are pretty darn good. And I really enjoyed this set. One thing I did not show is me bumping the camera again. No, I show that all the time. Point Dread and the Talon Fighter. Talon Fighter can perch on Point Dread, as you can see here and here. And you just line them up. And press down, and there we go. And there's the Talon Fighter on Point Dread. The little round piece with the record stuff on it, I thought was a cool throwback to the original toy that came with a read-along record and book. So, good job on that, Mattel. And I like that they stuck Battle Armor Skeletor in this set rather than just another regular Skeletor. Well, that does it for the review. Thank you for watching this video or any of my other videos that you may have watched. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you for supporting the channel. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or support the channel further. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.